Welcome to another one of my curriculum videos. This is for my 11-year-old 6th grader / 7th grader. I say that because we're still doing majority of 6th grade stuff this year. And since we school year round, a lot of it started in January of this year. So that being said, he'll probably finish it in the fall. If you saw my other video about my upcoming 10th grader, she'll be transitioning over to 10th grade in the summertime. That's just how they finished their curriculum and how it went, but it's okay. So some of the stuff is we just started it like a couple days ago, and some of the stuff we started in January. So we're gonna start from the top of the pile and go on down. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is from Master Books Curriculum. It is this book right here. Language Lessons for a Living Education. Now, whenever I ask my son to get out his backpack, I always say, can you get me your not read English book? Because the first time I looked at this, I think it was for like 3rd or 4th grade, and it was red. And in my brain, it's always red. All right. There are a couple of things I really like about this curriculum. I like that at the beginning, it has a assignment, and if you want to give a due date, you can do that. Mainly, I just kind of use it as a way to see where we're at, and I put in the dates of when we did it. Now, we're not as consistent as I would like to be, so it took my boy longer than 9 weeks to do the first 9 weeks of work. So each week starts with either a picture study, in which they provide one. I'll show this to you, a picture study. And then it has some questions about it. Gives you a title to the artist and the medium, like the type of art it is. So each lesson is broken up in 5 days. The first day of each lesson is either a picture study or a reading portion where you read the story and then you answer some questions about like what was the main plot points of the story, or retell the story to your teacher, and then you copy down a key verse. The stories that we're doing this year is from the 10-minute Bible journey, and I really like it because the pages are nice and smooth and glossy. I really like the pictures in there, and usually the key verse is short. Sometimes, like the other day, we had one that was like 6 verses long for the key verse, so we just summarized it. And so on the days that it has the 10-minute Bible journey, there's usually an art portion. Most of the other days is 1 page, sometimes 2 pages. And we like this because it's short and simple and straight to the point. There is one drawback to this. We're not a fan of the spelling component in there, but other than that, it's a win for sure. Move this over here. So next we have, so before I go any further, we kind of do a little bit of everything. Okay, a little bit of this type of curriculum, a little bit of that type of curriculum. So for math, we are doing grade 6 for Rod and Staff Christian Living Series. And we got this and also Master Books. Most of these books we got from Mardel Christian Bookstores in Texas. We completed grade 5, and it was a really good hit. I really like that it was a complete math curriculum for less than $20, so that was nice. This goes through, I think, 7th or 8th grade. So far, math has been relatively easy for my son. We present a new topic or a new skill. He practices it, and then it's in his head. Like, he doesn't forget it. Math typically takes this longer simply because he's like writing down the math problems, but it's fine. I like this one. It is a built-in review, spiral review. It does come with a separate book for math tests and quizzes, but we opted not to do that. I kind of reserve the end of chapter reviews as kind of like a test. And that's what works for us so far. All right. Next is history. So we got this history. When did we start it? I want to say like January 31st back in 2023. I'm looking at the page. Yeah, January 31st, 2023 is now April 2024, and we're just now halfway through it. It is a lot of reading. Like, my son likes reading nonfiction books to learn stuff. It's just, it was a lot of reading. Sometimes there's 5 pages, sometimes there's a lot. It's taken us to the halfway point to figure out a good system. So what we do is we look at the questions that he needs to be addressed on this activity manual, and then I'll read it out loud, and he can pay attention to me reading as he's listening for the answers. I'm not sure at this point what direction for curriculum we're going to go to after this, but we are finishing this. It is Heritage Studies Level 5. Some things I like about this: it has a separate book. It's kid-friendly, has pictures. Sometimes I think they gloss over stuff really fast. Yeah, really fast. But it comes with a title page, pictures, a timeline. And then typically, the activity manual is like 2 to 3 pages of reading and then answering questions. For example, let's say you're going to do, like, for example, let's pull out what we did today, shall we? So we're on chapter 10, and it was about Theodore Roosevelt. And then, how did Theodore Roosevelt become the 26th president of the United States? The answer was an assassin killed President McKinley when Theodore was vice president. So that's what he wrote. What was Roosevelt's early life like? What happened in 1884 that could have made Roosevelt give up on his life or his political career? This is also it's from BJU Press. If you guys were wondering, I'm horrible at telling people where I got things at. It's good information. I learned some new things. Huh? You got it from Mardel. Okay. I got it from Mardel. I like it because I've learned some new things. I don't think it's the best because it's a lot of reading, but I like it overall. Jackson, what do you think about this one? Would you want to do the same type next year or something different? Something different. In what way? Like different kind of history. So not the same history? No. Okay. Well, that's what I mean. Like, next year, do you want to do the same format where there's 2 different books? Yeah? Okay. So I guess it's working better than I thought. Okay. So then the next several books are workbooks. And the next 3 books are from Evan Moore. This one is Daily Science Level 6. Last year, we did a grade 5 Texas Fusion textbook that I got from Half Price Books. And it worked out well, but a lot of the stuff my son had already learned and grasped. And there was a lot of things in there we couldn't do because it was geared towards a classroom setting instead of like a homeschool setting. And then we switched from that to Daily Science 5. So now we're in Daily Science 6. Just 1 page a day. Let me flip to one that isn't taken up. So just simple. There's like information, background on the lesson for the week, and then it has a little bit of information, vocab, and some answers or some questions. My son does a lot of figuring out and finding stuff out about science on his own, so I feel like this is enough because he's learned a lot of science just from reading books that he wants to read about. Now this next, so that one we started in January. So I feel he's going to be done with this by like September probably. This one we just started like 2 or 3 days ago. It is 4 days of writing of different writing trait activities, and then day 5 is a writing activity. He has to write something on his own. We've literally only done 3 days, so this is what we're doing. And then as we were doing schoolwork, I realized he needed some help sharpening his critical thinking skills. And so we picked this up a while back, like earlier this year, but a while back. Critical Thinking Company, Level 6, also from Evan Moore. it just has a variety of different activities, reading, writing, sorting, different types. It's good. He doesn't mind it too much, I guess. And now for the final thing, he has done, he did Texas state history, and then I found this at like Staples or Office Max, one of the two. It was a 50 states activity book. I wouldn't say there's much in there that was new to him, possibly, but I thought it was just a lot of fun activity pages. And then the final thing was to do my very own state, do the state map, answer some questions about your state, and then draw pictures for like your state fruit, state flower, state animal, and then some key facts about your state, like the weather, the best places to visit. So he said the weather is humid, the best places to visit are Buc-ee's, the animals that live here are deer and cockroaches. The state nickname is Lone Star State. The laws of the state include open carry, drive fast on highways. So, and then today we did a final, just decorate the state maps with stickers. So this is a little bit different format than I did my 10th grade one, but this is what we're doing. And then once we get further in the year, I'll do another update about how it's going and where I think we might be going for our subjects for grade 7. And I'm fine that where we're at with school, because they are ahead of where they would be typically in a public school setting, because we're school year round. So I'm not worried about them finishing things on time. Although I do think taking 2 years to finish that book is a little much, but it is what it is. So thanks for watching this from beginning to end. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.